2024 Misery Index goes viral, unemployed youth, heading towards the abyss. Sudden price increases in high-speed rail, CCP criticized for continuing cycle of poor resource use. Wanda chairman Servere weight loss, his son's Japan trip, Wanda assets become state-owned. Hundreds of people in Hubei had their identities stolen for business registration, details exposed. Chinese people suffer from the pandemic, constant deaths occur. It's all covered in today's China Truths. 2024 Misery Index goes viral, unemployed youth, heading towards the abyss. Recently, the 2024 Misery Index has been widely circulated online, revealing a series of challenges faced by the Chinese economy with little hope for recovery. The collapse of the real estate market has led many families into deep debt, and the unemployment issue, especially severe among young and middle-aged adults, the primary breadwinners in their families, has them feeling like they are heading towards an abyss. The 2024 Misery Index identifies 9 levels of misery, which include 1. Unemployment. 2. Unemployment plus no savings. 3. Unemployment plus no savings plus mortgage. 4. Unemployment plus no savings plus mortgage plus raising children. 5. Unemployment plus no savings plus mortgage plus raising children plus debt. 6. Unemployment plus no savings plus mortgage plus raising children plus debt collection. 7. Unemployment plus no savings plus mortgage plus raising children plus debt collection plus illness. 8. Unemployment plus no savings plus mortgage plus raising children plus debt collection plus illness plus sick parents. 9. Unemployment plus no savings plus mortgage plus raising children plus debt collection plus illness plus sick parents plus house foreclosed. The ranking has resonated with netizens. Some netizens commented that they thought being unable to find a job was bad enough, but the 2024 Misery Index revealed that this was just the beginning, and the difficulty of life is only at level 1 according to the index. Since 2000, the increasing number of college graduates in China has contributed to a worsening employment situation. China's youth unemployment rate has remained high and has been climbing monthly. In June last year, the rate was 21.3%, reaching new highs since statistics began in 2018. In August last year, the Chinese Communist National Bureau of Statistics announced the cessation of unemployment rate releases for the 16 to 24 age group. Among those affected is Fu Dai, a 1997-born self-media person from Anhui, Hubei. Despite holding a finance degree from Chaohu University, he has been unable to secure a job in his field, relying instead on odd jobs to support his family. Deeply indebted and with a new child, he describes his financial strain as overwhelming, exacerbated by large mortgage and car loans. High youth unemployment is not only a crisis for young people but also for some high-level professionals who have been working in the job market for many years. Shanghai self-media person Jiading Chenma mentioned that she used to earn an annual salary of 200,000 yuan, about $28,000. In a video, she showed her master's degree diploma and her first-class construction engineer certificate. She said she did not expect to become unemployed in 2023. A programmer named Xiao Lu who has been jobless for months, underscoring the widespread and diverse impact of the employment crisis. The situation prompts them to seek short-term jobs and consider returning to their hometowns to survive, illustrating the dire economic challenges faced by many in China today. ABC Chinese recently reported under the headline "China's economy is disintegrating at an unimaginable pace. What's happening?" that the collapse of China's real estate market has evolved into an implosion, with the stock market falling to its lowest point in 5 years, and international investors are abandoning the country. The report suggests that deflation is occurring in China. Consumer prices are falling, and if this issue is not addressed, it will turn into an ugly negative feedback loop. The report said, all this is not surprising, because it was the CCP that caused the economic downturn before the pandemic. On the contrary, what shocks observers and investors is that the Chinese government either lacks the ability or is unwilling to address these problems and take remedial measures to mitigate the impact on the economy. In March this year, Su Qinggang, a senior research fellow at the Stanford University Center for China's Economy and Institutions and a renowned economist, analyzed China's worsening economic situation in an interview with CBC News. He believes that the Chinese economy has been devastated by the CCP, which is entirely due to the CCP's fear of a color revolution abroad and a peaceful evolution at home. Therefore, the CCP has been suppressing the private economy at the expense of the economy, just to preserve its political power. Sudden price increases in high-speed rail, CCP criticized for continuing cycle of poor resource use. China Railway's official website recently announced that starting June 15, fares for several major high-speed rail lines will increase significantly. The rise includes about a 20% increase for standard seats and up to 40% for business class. The National Railway Group defended these adjustments as market-based flexible pricing, promising future price adjustments based on a flexible and differentiated pricing strategy. Reacting to this, the financial blogger Guanbuyu posted an article mocking, "The price of high-speed rail has suddenly increased, and the inflation that experts want is here." The article details that in 2023, the National Railway Group reported a historic high in operating revenue of 1.25 trillion yuan, about $170 billion, but a net profit of just 3.3 billion yuan, around $460 million, a margin under 0.3%. Given upcoming massive debt and maintenance costs in the trillions, even a tenfold increase in net profit wouldn't be enough to cover the gaps. It also highlighted the lack of market flexibility in high-speed rail assets, making fare increases seemingly inevitable. Moreover, it's not just high-speed rail that's getting more expensive, prices for essential utilities like gas are also rising. The economy, once boosted by large-scale infrastructure projects, is now in a phase where the costs are becoming apparent, and every sector is feeling the heat. The long-anticipated inflation by economists seems to be kicking in. The author criticizes the focus on the Consumer Price Index, CPI, as a primary economic indicator, noting that inflating prices is easy in China due to state-run monopolies in core industries. A small change can significantly spike the CPI. However, these superficial improvements mask deeper issues of misallocated resources rather than genuine economic growth. The article points out that of China's 40,000 kilometers of high-speed rail, less than 3,000 kilometers are profitable. Many stations are unable to sustain operations, shutting down within a year or two, or never opening after completion. Investments in local government-funded high-speed rail have failed to yield returns, including basic maintenance funds. Thus, the price increases are not driven by a real increase in market demand but by the need to cover poor returns on initial massive investments. This situation stems from initial large-scale mismanagement of resources, and now the consequences are becoming due. It's explained that massive ineffective investments are examples of resource misallocation, which can be temporarily obscured by financial system support but cannot be indefinitely hidden. When local debts hit their limits and local finances can no longer cope, the financial shortcomings of high-speed rail that were once subsidized start becoming apparent, and the tiny profit margin of the National Railway Group is nowhere near enough to fill these financial holes. If high-speed rail were the only sector experiencing this, it might not be as severe. However, similar issues pervade the vast infrastructure initiatives of previous years, leading to inevitable CPI increases. But such inflation is not a sign of economic health but a burden lowering the real growth. The article concludes by criticizing some economists who focus too much on manipulating economic indicators on paper, playing intellectual games with GDP, CPI, and exchange rates, which feels like winning but doesn't address the actual economic suffering. Economists should rethink what they've really been accomplishing all these years. Wanda chairman Servere weight loss, his son's Japan trip, Wanda assets become state-owned. Recently, photos of Wang Jianlin, who has vanished from public view, have been circulating on social media platforms. Many netizens speculate whether his overwork and immense debt pressure over the years have led to his ill health. A user on X, MonsterGuySusu, commented, "Wang Jianlin is skin and bones, barely holding on by a thread. Wanda is constantly on the brink of a financial explosion, and even though he has transferred control of Wanda and sold off core assets at low prices, he hasn't fully eliminated Wanda's debt risks. However, his son's risks have been mitigated." Before May Day, after selling Chang'an Street's Wanda Plaza to China Gold Capital, Wang Xigong happily left for Japan. A father exhausts his wealth for his son. The son, surrounded by female companions, may not even remember his father. Another user, Truth Media, also stated, "What has Jianlin gone through? So thin, only his nose remains?" It is said that Wang Jianlin has successfully landed elsewhere, otherwise Wang Xigong wouldn't have left for Tokyo. His assets worth 130 billion yuan, approximately $18 billion, were transferred to Shanweijian, a second-generation REIT, and Global Cinema stocks were transferred to Tencent for 63.1 billion yuan, about $8.8 billion, all used to repay bank loans, totaling a debt repayment of 600 billion yuan, about $83 billion. They bluntly said the CCP has robbed Wanda, turning private property into party property. Since Wanda Group fell into a financial crisis, its founder Wang Jianlin has sold off 15 Wanda Plazas over the past year to raise funds. In April this year, mainland media reported that Wanda Group continues to divest assets, even including the group's headquarters in Beijing. On April 9, Beijing Wanda Plaza Industrial Company Limited experienced significant changes in its ownership structure. Dalian Wanda Commercial Management Group Company Limited, the original sole shareholder, withdrew, and new shareholders Quinhua, Tianjin, Equity Investment Partnership and Qinyuan Qinxing, Xiamen, Investment Management Consulting Company Limited stepped in, also prompting changes in core management personnel. The purchasing entity, Quinhua, Tianjin, Equity Investment Partnership, a limited partnership comprising New China Life Insurance Company Limited and China Gold Capital Operation Company Limited, invested 10 billion yuan to acquire Beijing Wanda Plaza, with ownership stakes of 99.99% and 0.01%, respectively. It is worth mentioning that Wang Jianlin once said, "I can let go of any business, but not this one." At that time, Wanda Commercial Management's annual rental income reached 32.88 billion yuan, approximately $4.6 billion, and Wang Jianlin had predicted that in a few years, this figure could reach 100 billion yuan, approximately $14 billion. With this alone, Wanda Group can sit through any storm, secure in its fishing boat. However, with the increasing financial pressures in recent years, Wanda Group seems to have started a Wanda Plaza fire sale. This indicates that Wang Jianlin is gradually losing control of this fishing boat. Wang Jianlin was once China's richest man, but after financial difficulties surfaced in 2017, for attempts to list in mainland China failed. According to the Hurun Research Institute's 2024 Hurun Global Rich List published in March, the Wang family's wealth has shrunk by 72% over the past year, remaining only 30 billion yuan, about $4.15 billion. Hundreds of people in Hubei had their identities stolen for business registration, details exposed. In late April this year, over 100 villagers in Luyuan Village, Dao County, Xiaogan City discovered that they had been registered as individual business proprietors, and their businesses are still listed as active. Mainland China Top News reports that a total of 216 villagers in the village were registered as individual business owners. Villager Wang Jingmeng stated that he and his parents, without their knowledge, had been registered for 5 individual business proprietorships. Since his parents were ill and needed to apply for medical assistance, they were informed that they could not proceed because they had businesses registered under their names. Wang Jingming's father, Wang Shuliang, was diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2019, leading to blindness in one eye and impaired vision in the other. Post-surgery, while applying for a disability certificate, Wang Jingming discovered a business license registered under his father's name since 2012. Similarly, in October 2023, after his mother underwent heart surgery and sought medical coverage, he too discovered a business registration under her name. Wang Xingming said that upon investigation, his identity information was also used to register businesses. After the exposure of Wang Xingming's family's situation, villagers began searching online for their information, discovering that their identities had been used to register businesses. The registrations, most of which occurred between 2011 and 2013, continued into recent years, 2022 and 2023. Public information shows that camellia oil cultivation is one of the pillar industries in Dao County. Dao County Mayor Bao Keming confirmed in an interview with the media that the villagers' claims were essentially true, and a preliminary verification suggested that it might involve embezzlement of national policy funds for tea oil planting. On May 11, villagers told the Xiaoxiang Morning News that after discussing the issue in a village WeChat group, the group was disbanded. As the matter drew attention, village officials contacted villagers to cancel their licenses, but many villagers disagreed, wanting to clarify who had used their identities and for what purpose, and who was responsible. Local villagers said that hundreds in the village had been registered with business licenses, some of which have been active for over a decade, unbeknownst to the individuals involved. More bizarrely, these business licenses, registered using stolen village identities, were annually filled out and approved without issue, raising questions about who was orchestrating these actions in secret. According to public records, Luyuan Village in Luang Town has 379 households with 1,356 people, predominantly surnamed Lu and Wang, with middle-aged and elderly individuals making up the majority. When villagers entered Lu Cheng in the Chi Cha Cha app, they found extensive business registration information for many villagers. Beijing News reported that even Liu Changxue, a villager who had died nearly 10 years ago, had a business license registered, which is still listed as active and described as a company primarily engaged in agriculture. Wang Xingming said, "Our village has only 2 or 3 small shops and a small privately owned tea processing facility, no significant businesses, and most people work outside the village. It's mostly older people here. How could there be so many individual businesses?" Under pressure from public opinion, on May 12, Dao County officials announced that from 2011 to 2023, Deng, Fong, and others from the former Luang Town Industrial and Commercial Bureau, through town government staff, accessed the identity information of some villagers from Luyuan Village and improperly processed 154 business licenses involving 134 villagers. Additionally, other townships improperly processed 84 business licenses. These licenses have now been cancelled. The incident has sparked widespread public outrage in China, with accusations that authorities are disclaiming responsibility despite having initiated the policies that allowed these malpractices. Critics allege manipulation and deceit at all levels of governance, suggesting widespread fabrication and fraudulent activities are not isolated to Dao but are a nationwide issue. Questions are raised about who initiated the Market Entity Increment Action Plan, with suggestions that certain practices, such as painting barren hills green, are deceptive strategies to maintain official positions. Chinese people suffer from the pandemic, constant deaths occur. Recently, people in various places have reported that they and their relatives are suffering from prolonged illnesses due to the infection, enduring great hardship, but official channels are blocking the news. Mr. Bao from Gansu recently told NTD that many people around him suffer from frequent colds that do not heal, leading to continuous deaths. Mr. Bao from Gansu said, "There are also many cases of cerebral and cardiac infarction. Many people have died, one after another. There are children, elderly, middle-aged people, and young people. Those who have been vaccinated also suffer from cardiovascular and cerebrovascular diseases, leukemia, and heart issues. Some have developed many blisters, black and purple, on their skin. Some have an entire arm ulcerated away." Mr. Li from Yunnan said that he had psoriasis, which flared up recently due to a cold and fever. After being hospitalized, he found the hospital overwhelmed with people coughing everywhere. Mr. Li from Yunnan said, there are many people coughing, it's COVID-19. I have psoriasis, which is an immune disorder. I had a fever, and it relapsed. I've been feverish for 10 days now, and my body is covered in pus-filled blisters. I'm in the hematology department, and next to me is someone with leukemia. Many people report that a lot of individuals are infected, but the government is concealing the outbreak, and hospitals do not acknowledge COVID-19, treating it merely as a common cold. Mr. Wang from Nanjing said, "I've been staying in the hospital because my family and I have COVID-19. I've had 2 shots of the vaccine. Any slight disturbance, and I get sick immediately. It takes a long time to recover. There is no specific medicine for this disease, it depends on one's immunity. The outpatient volume in hospitals is always high, with all sorts of diseases." Others have mentioned that the CCP is blocking news about the pandemic and related deaths. Mr. Wen from Chengdu said, "No one around here is tested. Sudden deaths and other opinions are tightly controlled by the news, and they don't report it. The hospitals know, but they don't tell the public." On January 16, 2023, the Epoch Times published an article titled Falun Gong Founder, CCP Covers Up Pandemic, Death Toll in China Reaches 400 Million. Over the past 3 years, the CCP has been covering up the epidemic, and 400 million people have died in China from it. At the end of this wave, China will have lost 500 million people. In the article Rationality, Master Li Hongxi explained to the world, "Stay far away from the evil CCP and don't align with the evil party. This is the only way to avoid this plague." Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. If you find the information helpful, please share this video with a friend to watch together. This will be a great source of motivation for our team to produce more and more quality and reliable videos. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths. Thank you for tuning in.